Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good, good. My name is Thomas Summers, and like I'm assuming a good few of y'all are, I'm a resident of Kennesaw. I was born May 31st of 1812, and back then, during my time in Kennesaw, I worked as a farmer making my living. In fact, right over here off of what's now known as McCollum Parkway, I believe, I used to have my farmhouse, which is where I used to do all my working and my living. Though back then, there weren't nearly as many flying machines or whatever y'all call them nowadays. Back then, it was just dominated by my farming equipment and things of the like. But I've been in Kennesaw for quite some time, and unfortunately, as much as I loved my house off McCollum, all good things must come to an end, and I had to relocate. And so on April 1st, 1883, I relocated right here to 3000 Cemetery Street. Give you an idea of how long I've been here, beside me rests my wife, Cassandra Summers, and then right next to her is my son, Lucius Summers. Lucius was the first known burial in this here cemetery, and he was only an infant when he passed. So when it came my time to go, I came right here to join him. But today we're going to be talking a lot about war, specifically the veterans who fought in those wars and served in those wars. Now, I don't know a lot about war myself. I didn't fight in war, though I did grow up during the Civil War. I lived through the Civil War. I mostly worked as a farmer during those days, though. It was actually my sons who fought in the Civil War. I had several. I had William Perry, who tragically passed in 1862. James, who was an Andersonville prison guard until he passed in 1864. The only one of my boys who made it out alive was my boy Alvin. The Civil War killed a lot of people. I don't think I need to tell y'all that. But it was also very formative for Kennesaw as a city, or Big Shanty as it was called back then. For things like the Great Locomotive Chase, which I'm sure y'all have all heard all about, and Camp McDonald, which was housed right here in Kennesaw, and it was a great big military training camp for Confederate soldiers during the Civil War. People would come from far and wide to see those soldiers train on their grueling 60-day training schedule, which only let them off on Sundays. Can you imagine that? Exhausting. But on top of that, when Camp McDonald was closed, the city of Kennesaw purchased the land and repurposed it for various things. One such plot of land is the land that you're sitting on right here in this here cemetery. Anyway, I don't have many war stories to tell y'all, and at this point I'm basically just rambling, so y'all need to go check out the stories from my neighbors around here. There's still so much of this wonderful cemetery for you to see before you head out. But before I leave y'all, does anybody want some candy?